In another example of you just can't make this shit up, a Norwegian man going for a 2-4 who already identified as a woman for starters decided that wasn't enough. So he also started identifying as disabled. So much so that he even started using a wheelchair despite physically not needing one. I have struggled with this every day of my whole life, Joran Victoria Elma, 53, told the Norwegian outlet VI earlier this year, according to Redux. He said, "There are many who don't have that choice to be in a wheelchair." The publication noted that Velma faced backlash following a recent interview with Good Morning Norway, GMN. It became such a big story that Norway's TV2 did a follow-up piece, including from the perspective of disabled women. Now, due to evil Elon's takeover of Twitter, for the first time ever, you could actually see that not everything was okay in Twitter Oz, and not everybody agreed with this perspective. Twitter users reading about Elma's story were actually outraged, especially those who were disabled themselves or had family members who were. Such haters. One user said, "My daughter has had a wheelchair since she was 18 months old. It was tiny, specially made." One person shared the first thing she said was, "I walk. The man should be ashamed, but of course he's not." Able-bodied male uses wheelchair almost always because he identifies as a woman who is paralyzed? Mental illness is reaching levels we never thought possible, said another. Just wait, I'm sure there's even more levels to be reached. "This is so insulting," another Twitter user shared. "I'm a wheelchair user. I went through excruciating pain with spinal and neurological damage. It's not a joke, and this to me is mocking me and others who've suffered awfully. Being in a chair has taken so much life away from me and my family. This is appalling." Per PubMed, body integrity identity disorder, BIID, is an extremely rare phenomena of persons who desire the amputation of one or more healthy limbs or who desire a paralysis. Some of these persons mutilate themselves, others ask surgeons for an amputation or for the transection of their spinal cord. Sounds like something else we've heard a lot about, no? Elby replied directly to the criticism saying, "I have struggled with my own shame and prejudices for 50 years before I was bothered by BID that I finally had to open up about it." The Norwegian said the interviews were done to promote diversity and inclusion. Elmi described being envious of an elementary school-age child with crutches. "My reaction was an intense interest. My heart pounded, my pulse increased, and I was activated in my body. I was incredibly focused on him and what this was all about. Everyone gathered around and was going to try the crutches. While I kept my distance, I was so afraid that someone would find out what was going on inside me," Elmi told the Norwegian outlet Budski. Now, I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatrist, but it sounds to me like Elmi was captivated by the attention that the child with crutches was getting. Could it be that he thought this would fill the void within him and all the attention would suddenly give him worth and value? I don't know, given I'm not an expert. But I don't have to be an expert to know that Elmi isn't altogether there upstairs. Bottom line, I feel pity for him. And I sincerely hope that he gets the help he needs. He needs help, folks, not a ticker-take parade. What speaks volumes to the story is that Redux noted that GMN was deleting negative comments on their social media pertaining to the news story about Elmi. Some would call that shaping a narrative. There have been polls and surveys done that have concluded that between 80 to 90% of people don't support this madness. However, if you were to watch corporate media and big tech, you would think that basically everyone supports it. And it was just you that somehow was the odd duck. Not so, my friends. As evidenced by the jettisoning of the narrative architects from Twitter, when free to express themselves, most people call this out for what it is. Wrong. Anyway, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. Please post any comments you have in the comment section. You can always follow me on my Rumble on my Locals account. If you're new to the channel and haven't subscribed, do so. If you're a new subscriber, check out some of the other videos. See you next time.